welcome everyone. I'm David Kinnaman at Real Country 102.3 along with Jake Judd. We're in our final few days of the studios here on Jackson Avenue. We're coming up on 20 years here in 2014 to be at this location. So we're moving to the studios on North Richwood Road and getting a whole new set of equipment and stuff. We thought we'd take you a little bit behind the scenes and show you a little bit of what we've done over the past 20 years. I've been here on and off since 2004, and Jake, you've been here since...
The summer of 2006, July of 06 is when I've been here from,
yeah.
So long time.
A lot of stuff hasn't really changed. Some things we've upgraded CDs, and we've gone from the old reel-to-reel machines to a mini disc player. We're going to be jumping to more of a digital studio coming up, and this is a little bit of what we have. We do have a board here that I believe has been here since we went on the air, which is July 4th of 1994. So it's a board that's been here a while, but it's a board that works and has done really well for us. Not as many channels as some boards are. Some have many more, we call these a pot, but there are many more channels or pots that will bring stuff in. But we got a microphone pot, which is our microphone when we're talking on air. That's the microphone that I'm using. When Jake's doing his news and stuff, he is at different microphones on the other side of the table there. So it allows us to kind of look visually between the two of us, so if we need to play off of each other or have an idea of what's going on. And then we're able to bring our ABC network pod in, which allows us to bring you the ABC News at the top of the hour. We've got a couple of CD players off to the right here that allow us to play the music. And then we do have the CDs. These are all the musical library that we play, anywhere from the older stuff to the most current stuff that we get in, and this is how that usually comes in through the mail. So these are brand new stuff that is just making its way on air, and then we have a good mixture of a book that we go through, and that book then allows you to play off of our music log that we have. And then, it's just something that's kind of repetitive. You do the same thing over and over each day, and obviously the words are different and the music is different, but you find a routine and you get into it, and it's just something that obviously has been very popular. We do thank everybody that's been able to be a part of KRCQ, whether it's a winning contest, coming in, talking about your community event, whatever it happens to be. I know we're here to serve the community of not only Detroit Lakes, but throughout the whole listening area, which is a good 60+ miles. So we get anywhere from Fargo towards Brainerd, South Alexandria, and up through Monoman and up to about Highway 2. We do have a couple of monitors here that allow us to play our commercials. This is kind of what it looks like when our commercials are being played on the air. We do have this little mouse pad here, which allows us to start and stop, and then just a regular keyboard. And we do have an internet, which brings us our weather. That is what we use for our weather studio there, and allows us to give us our current temperature and time and temp, and all the almanac stuff is in there. So it's a good opportunity to make it all mesh. And I got been in radio since December 26th of 1988. So it's been a few years here at the studio. I started back, first time here was January of 04. Was here 04 and 05, then came back, and I've been here since January of 2008. So it's, again, a lot of stuff that we use on an everyday basis. Allows you to feel comfortable and to be able to talk on air to however many people are listening at any given point, and how many people right now are watching us on the air and taking us kind of a little background information. And we'll bring Jake back in, and he can kind of tell you a little bit. Jake, what have you been able to do in your time here as the news director? You get out to the community, you go to the police station, and then you give your specialized newscasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all those things being out and about, and I've been doing it since 06, and so the opportunity to come here and had a great time doing it as well. And I just wanted to say before we leave the room, how many hours have you and I spent with you behind the board here and me over there in that microphone in severe weather times doing newscasts, many times on the board doing sports. So there's a lot of memories that are going away. And in the 19+ years, almost 20 years, be 20 years in July, as you mentioned here, this has been the only studio and the only building Real Country 102.3 in Detroit Lakes has ever broadcast out of. So every single song, every single sporting event, everything has come out of this particular room here, every newscast. So it's, while we're moving on to bigger and better things than we really are, when people get to see our new studio, it is heads and tails above this, but this has served us so well and has served the Lakes area community so well for almost 2 decades. It's a little bittersweet to see it go, but you mentioned when I go out and about on those news runs and stuff, we'll go over to the next room here. because this is where I spend a lot of my time actually doing the news. When I'm over there, I'm kind of at that one microphone like David pointed out, and I pretty much start reading. This is the production room. This is where I spend almost all my mornings. When Dave Lee and I are working in the mornings, Dave Lee's in there getting the music playing, getting all the commercials going, doing the Polka Monster, doing, you know, everything else that we do over there, the live beepers. I'm over here during that time trying to get the news ready for the day. You'll notice very similar computer software that we have over there. We call this DCS. This is one of the biggest upgrades we're making and the new computer system that we're going to have. And this computer system is actually what tells us what we're going to be playing over on air. It's got different numbering systems called carts and so forth. And with this computer here, it's pretty much what we call our production computer. It's got the standard internet. As you see, what's popped up right now is our computer software known as Adobe Audition, and there's several versions of it. This is the latest version that we have on here, and this is actually what we use to edit our commercials, and when I'm doing news, what I edit all my sound bites on and so forth. Anything you hear on the news, it has to go through here first, and it's edited down to make it usable for on air, and then we put it into the system over here at a certain cart number, and then over there in the other computer, we'd bring up the cart number and actually play it on air for you in between reading live. This right here is a reel-to-reel machine. This is obsolete. We keep it in the studio here just for just to have it and remind you this is how a lot of radio was done. I've never actually used these in my profession. I started working in radio, and 2004 was my first full-time radio job. I had some part-time jobs going back to 2002. So I've never actually used one of these. David, you might have used one when you first started. But
oh, I did for many a year. Yep.
Okay.
I started at the end of it in 1988, and yeah, reel-to-reel. I had to cut. There was actually a spool of tape, and you would actually physically use a razor blade and cut the tape, and they called it splicing, and then you take out the part you didn't want, and then you'd connect them with a little piece of tape, and then you wrap it around and have it play off of there. So nope, I loved wrapping those things up, used them all the time. So yeah, that's radio old. What we're going to is radio new. That's Jake and I and Dave Lee are very excited to be able to bring a new sound to KRCQ, a whole new digital system. I mean, this is really going to be an upgrade. You'll see some of the background on that coming up as we continue on. But Jake, these are our final few days here at KRCQ on Jackson Avenue. We're moving to North Richwood Road, and many great things coming up, not only through 2014, but in the years to come.
And if you're wondering what a mini disc is, this is what a mini disc is. You probably don't see these too much outside of the radio industry. I don't think it was used very much. It never caught on commercially. It was one of these pieces of technology, unfortunately, for commercial use, almost became obsolete when it came out. But this is what replaced the reel-to-reel machine, and frankly, the reel-to-reel machine and even the mini disc machines are now replaced by the new digital software systems that we have, such as the one that we're going to here. So yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. And as you mentioned, digital everything. A lot of our stuff's analog right now. You're going to notice a much clearer, better sound from Real Country 102.3, as well as our rest of our sister stations too, when this complete upgrade is done. And by the time you watch this, the upgrade will be completed. Hopefully we'll have all the bugs worked out. It's always a lot of excitement making a move like this over with all the new systems, all the new stuff, but we're looking forward to it, and it'll be exciting. And as I mentioned, it's going to be tough to say goodbye to this old building. Been coming here for a number of years, but it's time.
Time to look forward.
Times are moving forward, and frankly, we are going to be one of the state-of-the-art radio companies in a small market when this completion is done.
Yep. Thanks a lot for joining us here at Real Country 102.3.
Guys? Hey, did we move?